Hey everyone, this is Lars with Amplify in 21st Century HR. When I launched the 21st Century HR series in Fast Company, one of my aims was to really highlight innovative work and innovative practices happening globally in HR and recruiting. And so a lot of the original stories and early stories were actually informed quite a bit by interactions with all of you here on LinkedIn. My network, people that I've worked with, people that I was referred to, that helped me kind of come up with some story ideas. It helped me find people to interview for stories and contribute quotes and really add a level of depth and richness to the stories. And so what started originally as a Fast Company series in print, obviously now has evolved where now it's a more kind of omni-channel media series with both a video blog, hi, and a podcast. And what I aim to do with both of those is to really provide additional platforms to highlight examples of innovation and progressive practices that are happening in HR and recruiting. And so what I really want to do is I want to tap into all of you smart HR and recruiting practitioners in my network to help me identify stories. One of the things when I first started the series and I was having conversations, and this even backed up, to a couple of years ago at the HR Open Source, when we would identify people that were doing things that we found particularly innovative and impactful in their organizations, and talk to them about sharing that story and sharing that experience and kind of what they were learning. And some of the feedback we got is that some practitioners, some of you, didn't feel that thing was all that innovative. And I think when you're working in really progressive hubs like obviously the Valley, New York, London, etc., you may think those practices are somewhat commonplace, but the reality is they're not. The reality is the majority of our peers in the industry look to those kind of practices as inspiration and kind of a beacon for where they can be. And so one of the core goals of the 21st Century HR series is to spotlight exactly that. And that's where I need your help. So this video is really a call to action for my entire network on LinkedIn to help me identify stories that need to be shared, stories that need to be told about innovative work, progressive practices, transformative practices in HR and recruiting. So whether it's something that you've done and you want to share, feel free to brag. That's okay. I'll filter that out if it's an overbrag, if it's an overshare, but self-nominations are definitely welcome. Or if it's somebody else that you've seen their work, you've admired their work, whether it's a people executive and a leader that you've been kind of tracking their path and the impact they're having in organizations, or just a particular initiative that an organization has led that has been transformative and impactful for the business. These are the kind of things I want to hear about. So I would love for you to leave a comment with details on the thing that you think that we should be spotlighting, the stories you think we should be sharing, whether it's from a specific kind of strategic initiative within an organization or an executive that you think is doing really, really amazing work that you think deserves a spotlight. So would love for you to leave a comment with any recommendations you have. If you'd prefer to kind of DM that privately, shoot me a message. Let me know what stories we should be sharing on 21st Century HR. And I look forward to your feedback. Thank you in advance, and many more stories to come.